Hi, I'm Ingrid Winkler Anderson from the Bellevue Public Schools Foundation, and on behalf of the Executive Committee and our Board of Directors, members at large, I would like to welcome you to the Foundation. I think you'll really love it here. We have a lot of hardworking individuals doing things on a daily basis that almost would be as if they were department heads in paid positions, but it is an all-volunteer board of directors. And we thought we might do a little orientation tape here so that you would get a little bit of an idea of what the organization is all about before our first meeting that you will attend. We have a little history that we know of. We believe we were started in the mid-70s by a class, and we're trying to pin that down. We're sort of interviewing people here and there, trying to figure out exactly which class it was in Bellevue High School who started this as a class gift. The foundation was started basically as a fundraising option for people who wanted to donate to the district. And since then it has grown. One of our biggest programs is the Kids Time program, which is a before and after school day care program that is held at each of the 15 sites in Bellevue Public Schools, each of the 15 elementary sites. And you'll learn more about all the schools if you don't already know. All of our 15 schools, we have 3 middle schools and we have 2 high schools. Bellevue High School split into Bellevue East and Bellevue West in the late 70s. And we'll get all that history to you. I just wanted to kind of orient you with some of the basics at this point. In your packet that we will give you digitally, and we also will have hard copy made for you, you'll have a board. It's basically a pictorial roster, and that will show you who all the staff members as well as board members are, and who is all on the executive committee, which if you have any questions or concerns, you might bring them first to the executive committee and see if we already have answers for you, and have it at that level. And then we are also looking to know what might best engage you, your time and talents for the organization. And so you will also have in your packet, and we again will have this digitally so you can keep it digitally if you like, a committee list and all the people that are on the certain committees and the committees we currently have in place. And then also we'll have a few different fun things. We are currently in the middle of our annual campaign, and as a board member, you are partially responsible for the success of our financial obligation. And it's actually kind of fun because I don't like a coercive environment, so I try to make any fundraising project we do, I try to make it fun and engaging and using whatever talents that you're able to use. I know not everybody's comfortable in sales, which is what we all think of when we think of fundraising, but honestly, when you've done your job right as a representative of the foundation and told all the wonderful things that we do and that we cover and the goals that we have for the future, people just get the bug. They catch the bug. They see, oh my gosh, they're doing so much, and my donor dollars will be maximized at this organization. And that's really what they want to know. They want to know, is this going to help the youth in our community succeed at higher levels and eventually be wonderful contributing citizens of Bellevue and the surrounding communities, and is my time really going to be maximized with this organization? And I really feel that it is. I have to say, I really was excited to come into this role with the organization, and we're all growing together. It's a pretty fairly new structure from what the organization has been run with in the past, and it's just new and exciting, and there's lots of opportunities for different forms of engagement. If you're interested in running a fundraiser, we still have some slots that we could use for fundraising activities. Currently we have a breakfast that we do that involves the culinary students at the high schools. Both East and West high schools come together, and they have their culinary students. They are in charge of the breakfast that morning. Of course, they've got some instruction and some help and assistance from the food services in the district, but it's really a fun event because it does engage the students, plus we bring sponsors in for the table sponsorships. The main goal of that day is scholarship recipients from both high schools are chosen, and they have their foundation scholarships delivered at that time. And so it really does attract the whole community. We call it the Bellevue Public Schools Foundation Community Breakfast, and we would love to get you involved in some way, shape, or form in that particular event. But we're also looking at starting some other smaller events, that maybe a golf tournament. We've got some interest in that, and some different fundraising options for us, because that is a big piece of what we want to happen, to be able to grow programs and services. Now, some other programs and services we have, in addition to Kids Time, we have a line of services that is dedicated to student supports in some way. The scholarships are a part of that. We also have a line of services that's dedicated to teacher supports, instructional supports, educator supports, and we're right on the cusp of kicking off this year's grants piece for the teachers. They apply for classroom innovation grants, and we have a whole committee that pours through each of those application submittals and hones it down to a certain amount of grants we are able to fund with that year's fundraising efforts, and we always hope to grow those efforts. But this last one that we did involved 43 educators in 24 different grants. So we had some grants that were teams, and we were able to give out $24,000 in grants this last year. So we're very tickled at the direction the organization is going, and we will share much more with you when you're on board and can get your feet wet a little bit with all the different avenues that you might look at for engagement. Now, some of the other things I want to make sure I tell you, we have our board meetings are the third Wednesday of the month, and those are held in the Welcome Center district offices. And if you don't know where those are, they're at the corner of Fort Crook and Highway 370 in Bellevue. And Bellevue is a pretty small town. Most people know where that Welcome Center is. But we have our meetings in that boardroom where the Board of Education meets as well. And those meetings we try to keep to an hour, so we really try to stay focused on committee reports if we need to have those. It's kind of a little bit of as needed. If we kind of know a committee's clicking along and they've got some long-range goals, we might not hear from them every single month. Currently, we have monthly meetings, so we try to get as much done in that 1 hour as we can. And of course, with the annual campaign going on right now, that's a focus. So we do have reports for annual campaign, but we might not have that year-round, for example. Those meetings currently are at 6 p.m., so we try to go 6 to 7. And because our board president, who I love, Walt Griffiths, always says, anything beyond an hour becomes a seminar. So we try to keep it at just an hour. I do try to interject some things in that meeting with what the latest day-to-day operations with the foundation, what things we might need help with from the board, or some governance issues. But it's really a fun and engaging meeting, and we have almost 100% attendance unless somebody absolutely has another engagement they must be at. So I'm really tickled at our board as active as they are right now, and I really want that to continue, and am certainly open to suggestions in that area. If you have been on other boards and would like to share some of your knowledge, we are always open to being better and striving for excellence in everything we do. And so let me make sure I have told you everything I want to tell you before I wrap this up. I also have some other engagement ideas that I think might reflect your particular interest, and we can talk about that one-on-one when we meet. But the last thing I do want to tell you a little bit about is we had a board member who was interested in ball caps. And so we have these 3 ball caps, white and gray and purple, of course. And the idea with this was this particular board member wanted to fund a start to this program. So we will, if this kicks off and we are successful at it and we get a lot of interest, we might need some more underwriting and some more funding. But the idea being that if you are a Purple Power Partner, which any donor is, if you're a Purple Power Partner at the $50 level or more, that will entitle you to an option of picking one of these hats out. And so that we're hoping this catches on and we have a lot of ball cap wearers with our Bellevue Public Schools Foundation logo on it. And the more of these that we see around town, we're trying to preserve it, that only people who have been $50 or higher donors, supporters of the foundation, are able to wear these caps. So it's a club that we're hoping everybody catches the bug and wants to be a member of. So with that, I'm going to close and say again, welcome to the organization. I think you'll love it here, and we're really looking forward to meeting with you and working with you.